Good morning, everyone. How are you this morning? I assume that you had a good evening or good party yesterday night, and hopefully most of you are here. Not, any case, one of the most important thing to be at the conference is meeting with the colleagues, and many times between a glass of beers and wine, things get done better and smoother. So I hope you had a good time yesterday, and also you would enjoy the rest of the sessions today. So since today's session is a workshop, so I can rid off my jacket and I'm ready to work. So let's work it out. And starting to share my screen, and I will go over what I wish to tell you today. It will be short presentation. So with the Talaria software ready almost now, and I wish to talk about what we can do with the new Talaria software, especially for the received community. And I wish to go back several years ago, in now even almost, I forgot, 2015, when there was an ILDS conference in Istanbul. I made a presentation about international resource sharing, how to make it work. It is nothing is ready or readily available, but still at the time I proposed three possible scenarios for the future of international resource sharing. So the idea one or model one was having a centralized hub system, which will connect with all these different national resource sharing networks, Telnet, NILDE, SUDAG in France, or OCLC in Japan and China. So having this hub system at the center that connects domestic national network is one model. And second model is having an ILL clearinghouse which covers one nation. So each country will have an ILL clearinghouse. So when the libraries from one country need something from a particular country, then they will connect with a national clearing center. And this national center will provide the material that is produced in its own country. So maybe the clearing center will not have the item that other libraries are looking for, but still, as covering one country, this clearing center can provide the material to the libraries in other countries. Then the third model was having an international clearing house, which directly talk with the individual libraries. So the libraries will communicate with this international clearing center and send the request, and then international clearing center will somehow figure out how to provide those materials that is requested by individual libraries. So those are the three models that I presented in 2015. And now, having experience with the received community in the last 3 years, I'm thinking maybe we created a model that combines maybe two of those three models that I presented. So I just added as a model 4, just following the same design that I had 8 years ago, very primitive, but I still use the same design. And I added some more circles and lines. So the Talaria, or the received community who use Talaria, will be acting as an international clearing center now, in which the individual libraries who does not belong to any particular national resource sharing network can communicate directly via Talaria system or via received community. The material could be supplied, requested and supplied. But also this Talaria received community could be connected to other national resource sharing networks, existing networks maybe, and also if there are any future national resource sharing network that is based on Talaria could be connected. So there are requests which could be fulfilled within one country which use Talaria can be used within that country. And then the there are items that cannot be fulfilled by the national network can be moved to the bigger Talaria or this received community, and requests could be fulfilled from there. So for now, the Talaria system will be used for the received community as we are working on. So instead of request the form that open access or OA.work colleagues has created, we will use the Talaria requesting system. Also, instead of the Google Sheet that we are working on, some people like it, some people did not like it, and we will have a new way to manage those requests. And also, I noticed that recently that there were some problems submitting the request. Some colleagues may remember, they submit the request, but it didn't go through. Or in my case, it went through. It looks the request was made clearly without any issue. But as one who also have access to the Google Sheet, I found that the request I made was not on the spreadsheet. And still, we have a hard time to find out why this happens. This means there might be other libraries who have submitted the request. They assume the request was made, but actually we never seen them. And then it just expired. And since we didn't see, we couldn't fulfill the request. So with the Talaria system, I hope all those problem cases will be removed, and we can really work on the request that the other library colleagues has submitted. So received community with the Talaria will have more diverse volunteers. And I was thinking about the strategic recruitment of the volunteers. And last couple of years, I received the request or the volunteers who are willing to, give us their help. And I was waiting until the Talaria system is running fully so that we can have them in part of the volunteer group. But also I'll try to approach the libraries with a strong medical journals or medical collections. As yesterday, I think I heard from Qatar National Library that they were supplying material for the doctors. Indeed, I see many requests for the medical materials. So we need some volunteers from the medical libraries or the libraries which has a strong medical collection. In addition, I see more and more requests for the materials not in English, which means there are, the journals from China, for example, in Japan, even though the database and indexes have translated titles so that I guess the patrons are submitting the request, just assuming that there is a article written in English, but they actually written in Chinese or in other languages. So I wish to recruit the volunteers from those part of the world where they can provide those languages not written, not in English. So that is a way to get more volunteers and diverse volunteers. And also, I believe Tina has presented yesterday about the steering committees. So there will be steering committee will be formed. And this will be representing the volunteers and document delivery and resource sharing committee. And they will be working together to move forward and set up the directions for these received communities. So I believe, as I mentioned yesterday about the resource sharing community during the crisis and conflict, I think we have a great potential to be, how can I say, an essential tool to support the communities in crisis using the library resources. So I hope that the steering committee will guide us through these new directions. In addition, as you may remember, we started this received initiative with a very simple thought in mind. Let's make it happen. Let's make it as simple as possible. Even though it is not sophisticated, but still it does what it needs. And that's why the receive was successful. So as in English word, they call the less is more, meaning a simple solution sometimes is the most efficient solution. So having patrons in our mind, always thinking about how to help patrons, and we will work on very easy, but also flexible solutions, not too much complicated, that will require a lot of more resources. As we all volunteering our time and resources, I wish to have a solution that's more easy and simple. Let's not complicate too much. I think that is one thing that I at least I wish to see in the future. And also more importantly, we are working together as a family almost. So this means, not all family is always, how can I say, working nicely or smoothly. Sometimes within family, we fight each other a lot, but also we all remember that we are a family and we have same goal, and we are going through this, we are heading toward the same direction. So in that sense, there will be a lot of discussions among us, but still we are working for our community. That is all we have in mind equally. So I think we saying with this principle and working as a family, I think we can go far, far with our, success. So far you are doing great, and I really appreciate. I try to send a message to our volunteers often, but even with, I have to confess, I have to actually apologize for not communicating that often these days. But still, I really, see that we are working great. And if you see the Google Sheet recently, the request, almost 70 or 80% of requests, incoming requests are fulfilled, and very quickly too. So if we are getting more volunteers in the future with a strong collection that many people requesting, I think our fulfillment rate will go further. And yeah, since today's session is more hand-on workshops, so I would not continue for my babbling in late afternoon. So this is late afternoon here. So in a way, you are coming with your fresh mind in the morning. I'm still the same day as you saw me yesterday. So in any case, thank you so much. And we have more works to do, and let's work together as a family. Thank you. Enjoy your rest of the days and your workshop. Thank you.